episode 2 of Theme Parks and Patents.
Recently, we went to the Disneyland park in California, and we went to the new Toontown, and I rode Roger Rabbit.
So today we're going to talk about Roger Rabbits in the context of a new patent that Disney just got in the last couple years. Actually, was issued in 2021, so 2 years ago. And this is generic to any spinning ride. But since Will's really liking Roger Rabbit lately, we wanted to do it with that because it would be entirely applicable to Roger Rabbit. And so just as a background, Roger Rabbit was in 1994 is when they built it. It was based off the movie that came out in 1988. And they were really, Roger Rabbit was a huge deal. I remember it. And they were going to make like Roger Rabbit lands and all the parks. But a lot of that fell through. And so you just ended up with the ride in a couple of the parks here and internationally, mainly in Disneyland and I think in Tokyo.
And there was a Roger Rabbit character, and he popped up a lot, but then he just disappeared. I also found out that Roger Rabbit was an opening day attraction, but many roller coaster enthusiasts thought it said it wasn't complete.
Opening day for Toontown?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember seeing that. And
how it opened with the park, but many coaster enthusiasts said it wasn't open, or like it wasn't complete or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw pictures where he was in the parades and everything too, because how popular he was. So it was what they call it a hybrid. What they did is took two technologies that was hybrid to the rides at Disneyland. The Imagineers basically, they took a teacup ride mechanism and put it on a dark ride. So they actually, to practice, they said they took one of the teacups and put it on Pinocchio. And that's the idea, that you would move through a track, but you could spin instead of like the teacups that just go in a circle. So this was their idea, and they thought it was a great idea to have something that could spin and go on like a dark ride track like Pinocchio.
Yeah, and you can't spin the Roger Rabbit wheel. It's just a lot harder than the teacups and other rides like that.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about the ride a little bit?
Yeah, so I really like it because I've been kind of eager to see the new Toontown, and recently I've actually been kind of interested in Roger Rabbit. I got interested in it when they said they weren't going to change anything and kept it the same. And I also got interested in it when I found out you actually could spin it.
So what about on the ride? What did you think about it?
So basically the weasels, like, there has been a report that they came in the city with a large amount of dip, which is the stuff that can only destroy a cartoon character. And so basically you're on that cab from like the Roger Rabbit show or the movie, and you just drive through the city and stuff, and you can spin the car, and then there's bunch of fun animatronics stuff. First of all, you see the weasels dumping dip onto the ground, and then Roger and the taxi guy are spinning on it, and then the taxi guy says, "Holy smokes, Roger, we've been dipped!" And then you see Jessica Rabbit, and a little bit ago they actually changed it so that Jessica Rabbit is an undercover detective now, and then she's stop it right there, and then the weasel says something to her, and then you go into this plate thing where there's a bunch of plates and mirrors, and then there's this cow balancing plates on its head, and then you go into this street and it says spin, spin, spin and stuff, and there's spinning mailboxes and spinning mailboxes and just dancing stuff. And then you go into this power place where there's even more mirrors, and there's a bunch of electrical things, and it's like danger, danger, danger. And you see this like thing with a mouth, and it's supposed to be like fire, and it kind of opens like, yeah, but it doesn't open that much. And then you go into this weird room where it makes the same sound, and the doors on the bottom open. It looks like a mouth. And then you see one of the weasels holding Roger like this, and like up to an electrical thing, and it like goes and then you like go into this room with really, really loud explosions. I learned that the hard way. And so, and then after that you're like in this tunnel where there's like things, and then there's like a spinning portal at the end, and then you turn and you go through these like little doors that look like clouds, and then it's supposed to be like you're falling onto a building, and then after that you see a long sideways staircase with a sideways Roger on it, and then he says something, and then you go into this ballistic place where there are many stuff like where there's a piano, and then like Jack in the boxes, and there's like things that try to pie you in the face, and like and then like there's like one of the weasels holding a string with a cage, and then you go into the cage and it makes this rumble sound like boo, like you're being moved, and you come out the other end, and then Jessica Rabbit, she has like a hammer above, and she's above them, and one guy's already knocked out, and then she says this is gonna hurt you a lot more than it's gonna hurt me, but it doesn't actually do that, like where it slams on you. And then there's this guy who's hanging onto this, or a weasel who's hanging onto this rope with a bunch of boxes on it, and he's like, this will make a swell coil, and like something like that. And then you turn to this thing where the weasels where the weasel has this thing, and it's like this generator machine thing where it's spraying dip, and it turns to you and he says, how about a little dip to forget your trip? And then you turn and you see Roger Rabbit holding this black circle, and he's like, I got a portable hole, I'll save ya. And like it has the illusion that he's pulling it sideways so he can make it in it, but in reality there's just mirrors on two sides, and he pulls it in. And then at the end you just see this like portal thing with Roger Rabbit, and he's like, and it says the end on top, and it has like this thing where it goes and like then after you go through those doors you just exit the ride. And it does have a pretty fun queue. And that's all I have to say about it.
So
even though that was a lot.
Got the whole ride description there.
Yep.
From memory. So to talk about the patent, this is a patent from just recently, but it would apply to any spinning ride. So showing here figure 2 from this patent, you can see the ride vehicle. You can see a wheel. A wheel? A wheel, sorry.
Oh.
W-H-E-L-L. Yeah, E-E-L. Where a rider can turn it and put their energy into the vehicle. And so what it does is it takes the energy from the rider, like a wheel, riding the vehicle, turning a wheel, and takes it and makes it into energy using from an alternator and into a battery. And this can be used to power something on the ride, like audio or lights, because they say typically it's hard to get power into the actual vehicles on these because they're supposed to spin and they're on a track. So this could be good for Roger Rabbit.
Wait, have they already made the patent, or has it already been done, or hasn't?
They've made the patent. I don't know if they've actually implemented this anywhere. So it's pretty new. And they only filed it in the US, so it wasn't I don't know how much of a big deal it was, but we'll see if they actually use it. But it'd be kind of fun to see it like on Roger Rabbit. The claims of this patent are pretty broad. So they got...
And what does broad mean again? I forgot.
It means it covers a lot of different things, but good question. Basically the idea, like we just talked about, they have pretty good coverage. All kind of like a ride system where you have a user turning it. It turns it takes the energy from the user, converts that into storable energy, and powers something on the ride. There's no method claims. That'd probably be a good one to add here. But other than that, it's a pretty good little patent they have here. So if anyone like Universal wanted to do this, take like a spinny ride in Dr. Seuss land and make energy out of it, they wouldn't be able to do it.
Or you know, like the Toon land in Universal, where it has like the ripsock walls and Bluetooth barges.
Mm-hmm.
They might make a Toon ride out of like with this thing.
Yeah, they can make a little Turner.
Yeah,
a spinny ride.
Like, you know that one like little kid thing where it's like Bonnie or something, and she has like the black hair.
Maybe.
Well. It's kind of hard to describe, but some of you may know what I'm talking about, but they could make the ride based off her or something.
Sure. And that's it on this one. That's all I have. All right, well, thank you for joining us.
And goodbye.